Man ruins his life over a smoothie. Hopefully you guys can
Yesterday,
hear
there was a
audio now.
war fought on American soil that I'm sure many of you have seen by now.
I
A
saw this video on
one-man
Reddit.
army barged into a local smoothie place, assaulted the young workers, got racist, got arrested, and subsequently fired from his very well-paying job. He was one of the top 25 highest grossing wealth advisors in Connecticut,
Damn.
and he threw all of it away over what was ultimately his fault when it came to a smoothie dispute. This battle was up there with the Battle of Troy, but instead of being fought over a woman, it was fought over a smoothie. To briefly break down the situation before sharing the video, or at least some of the video, I can't share all of it because he gets racist and I'm not going to show that. So just to briefly sum up the lore here,
The full video is
there
on
was
Reddit
a
if any
father
of you
who
guys
had ordered a
are so
smoothie
inclined.
from this smoothie place earlier in the day. He mentioned he didn't want any peanut butter in it, so when he got the smoothie, he brought it to his son who has a peanut allergy, and his son had an allergic reaction to the smoothie and ended up in the hospital. Sometime after this, the father then went like full-blown fucking vigilante mode, goddamn trying to emulate John Wick, went back to the smoothie place to demand to speak face-to-face with the person who made the smoothie, but the four girls that were working there at the time were not the four employees that made that smoothie, so they didn't know who it was. So then the father got very upset, yelling and screaming, treating it like a 2009 Call of Duty Xbox Live lobby, just absolutely shouting, being racist, and tried to kick down the employees only door, I imagine, to try and like beat them up or some shit. Then police got involved, he got arrested, lost his job. The whole thing honestly played out like a fucking Dhar Mann video over the last 12 hours. Father gets angry, gets racist, gets fired, lives to regret it. Now, I want to make it clear, I think the father is totally in the right to be mad about the situation, but
Yeah.
nothing justifies racism and like trying to assault people that didn't even have anything to do with the situation in the first place or any of that shit. The most important part of this story is the father never specified he didn't want the peanut butter due to allergies. He never specified that it was due to, allergies to peanuts that he wanted the peanut butter excluded. So the workers may have made a mistake of blending it in a blender that had already had a peanut butter smoothie in it at some point. But nothing excuses how the father handled the situation at all. It's terrible what happened to his son, and what the father should have done is handle this legally, professionally. The dude's a fucking wealth advisor, at a very reputable place. He shouldn't be some kind of troglodyte homunculus who thinks the only solution here is to goofily march into the smoothie place, fee-fi-fo-fumming, ready to fight some high school girls. It's absolutely outrageous the way he handled it, and there's no excuse for it. Yeah. Now, from what I understand, most restaurants do have a policy when someone asks for anything regarding nuts, like leave off, the peanut butter or whatever. The assumption is supposed to be made that it is due to allergies, which is why they have like a special blender at smoothie places from what I was reading. So yes, the smoothie place is at fault, which is why the father should have handled this legally, not as some kind of, agent of chaos or whatever. Let me go ahead and show you the video now.
Yeah. Before we jump into the video, what's kind of like upsetting about this is this guy, the dad, could have literally taken legal action and probably won some money or gotten some money in some form of a lawsuit. Here's the video.
Please don't yell at us.
Yeah. Don't videotape me.
You have no room to yell at us.
I want to speak to the fucking person who made this drink. Is that you?
No,
well,
it
we don't
wasn't
know
me.
who made it,
You
so
don't know who made it?
there's four of us here, so we obviously don't know.
Fucking stupid, fucking ignorant high school kids.
Okay,
I
bye.
want to speak to the fucking
Bye.
manager.
Okay, you can
Yeah,
call
stop,
corporate
stop.
whenever you want. Goodbye.
John, stop. You're on camera.
Fuck
You're
out
on
of
camera.
here,
You're on
you
camera.
fucking bitch.
No, I don't care.
Give it to me right now.
What?
I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police.
Fuck you, fucking bitch. I want the fucking telephone
Get the
number
fuck
right now.
out.
Gianna,
I want the
stop.
telephone number. Shut the fuck
You
up.
shut up. Get out. You can
Fucking
call corporate
stupid
whenever you
fucking
want.
idiot.
Bye.
You're a fucking idiot.
Okay, good for you. Fuck out. You're going to jail. You're going to jail, you racist piece of shit.
I want the fucking telephone.
Bro, call the police now.
Like I said, I'm not going to keep
Dude,
any-
that's the creepiest part of the whole thing is he tries to break into the back where they all are. Not only did he throw shit at them and verbally assault them, he also tried to go through the door to like get behind the counter where there's four high school. Like what's this guy going to do? How pathetic. I don't know. Like Here's the other thing too, just for both sides of the story. I try really hard to be empathetic, and I get the rage that a parent must feel in a situation like this. Maybe he's misremembering how the interaction with whoever was working there went. Maybe he really thinks that he was super clear in specifying no peanut, and then maybe his son is in a really unstable condition. And I'm sure that's hard for a parent to deal with. I'm sure it doesn't justify this. He's definitely in the right to be upset. It's a sad situation. He messed up really bad, and I'm sure he knows he messed up really bad, but he obviously shouldn't have. It's just sad, man. It's just really sad. He definitely went overboard.
Any of the racist shit he said in here, because obviously I don't want to keep that in here. So this is the worst way of handling any situation ever. I talked about it on stream last night, so I'll play some of those clips. But there's nothing that excuses this behavior. I've seen quite a few people almost defend him, saying like how emotional he must have been with his son. And yeah, that's a horrible thing that happened to his kid off of a mistake from the facility here. But this is not the way you go about it. And nothing justifies racism and like attacking people, especially people that had nothing to do with what happened in the first place. And if he was really that emotional about his son, why wasn't he with his son at the hospital at this point? I'm assuming when this was happening, his son was still at the hospital. This probably wasn't like 18 hours later, or, you know, the next day or anything. So he sent his son to the hospital and then immediately came over here like it was some kind of revenge movie or something. It's disgusting. I don't think they like maliciously put peanut butter in his smoothie after he asked not to. It was probably just using a cross-contaminated blender that had peanut butter in it.
Right.
Just sue. Exactly.
A spoon with peanut butter on it,
legally or anything other than whatever the fuck he thought he was doing here, like Liam Neeson. Fair, but if I was a dad, I'd get just as angry, just without the racism. He absolutely had a right to be angry. I don't think anyone disputes that. But he doesn't have a right to be racist or go to the place and threaten high school girls and throw a smoothie at them.
Well, like, yeah, what's he gonna do if he gets behind the counter?
Break down the door to, I assume, beat them up. Most places, when they hear no peanuts / nuts of any kind, they're supposed to assume allergies due to how common it is. That would make sense. He was the wealth management advisor, and managing director for Merrill Lynch. Yeah, that's what it was. Yep. He only worked with clients with $1 million or more. I remember that. Yeah. I guess you can't control emotions when your son is in the hospital. What? What? I mean, no matter how mad you get, there's never an excuse for racism. Like, what do you mean? It's not like, my son, time to go be racist. Dude looks way older than 48. He doesn't look that much older than 48. Like, it's not like a good 48 he's rocking, but it's also not, like, terrible. You clearly haven't met a 48-year-old in Florida. Yeah, so as I mentioned, this father only worked with clients who had $1 million or more worth of, like, assets in their account or some shit like that. So this guy was big money. He wasn't making peanuts. This guy was making, like, fucking fat, big old stacks, and he lost that job, like, hours after this video surfaced. Yeah. Overall, this whole situation was awful. Feel really bad for the kid. Both parties were at fault, but the father was significantly more in the wrong for how he handled this. There is just no excuse for this behavior whatsoever. So, yeah, that's about it. So, yeah.
The worst part is it's like a lot of it comes off as this like toxic macho shit too, where like there might be a scenario where this dude is like the dad in the video, like looks back on this and is proud of how he like handled the situation in terms of like he's, you know, proud of himself for sticking up for his son and doing what he can for family and never turning your back. You know what I mean? Like a Vin Diesel thing. It's just I understand why this man thinks calling teenagers and threatening to beat them up will fix anything. Should take it to court. Yeah. Now the son's embarrassed. Imagine like how the son's dealing with all that too. It's just tough, man.